News Kids on the Block. We bring to you stories that top the nation's papers, fresh from the IVM and Ascend International School Desk. Hi, I'm Trivik and I'm joined today by
Anya, and welcome to this episode of News Kids on the Block. Kavya will not be joining us today, but we'll be taking you through, like Trivik said, all the top news updates of the week.
Woo, 3 Anya stories today. Super excited, guys.
With that, kick us off in our first story, which comes from India, where Ruchira Kamboj takes charge as India's first female UN envoy. She's from the 1987 batch of the Indian Foreign Service, and she will be succeeding T.S. Tirumurti as the Indian ambassador to the UN. She had previously been serving as the Indian envoy to Bhutan. She, last Tuesday, the 2nd of August, she presented all of her credentials, etc., to the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. And she also said that in a tweet, she said to all the girls out there, we all can make it. She'll be serving, of course, at the UN headquarters in New York. And I think, this is like a really great milestone. It's great to see women in diplomatic positions in the UN. In the past, also, we've had so many women who have been instrumental. But specifically her, I think to see her right now where she is given the world today. She's had an incredible career, having been posted to the Indian Embassy in France and then in New Delhi and then in the Europe West division of the External Affairs Ministry to even being in Mauritius and working as the head of Chancery at the Indian High Commission over there. She also worked in South Africa. And like I said, her most recent post was in Bhutan, but now she'll be making her way to the United Nations where she'll be serving as our envoy. And yeah, I think that's really commendable.
Thank you, Anya. That was a pretty cool story and it most certainly is commendable. Our next story for you today comes out of, well, it technically does come out of Gujarat. However, the story begins as 6 individuals, all between the ages of 19 and 21, were reportedly apprehended from a sinking boat in the St. Regis River in Aquisson, New York, not far from the Canadian border, according to Inspector Bhavesh Rathod of the Mehsana Police's Special Operations Group, or the SOG. And what's special about this case is the 6 people who were apprehended refused to respond to the judge's queries in English when they were brought before a court. And the court needed a Hindi translator's assistance. But the court was perplexed because all these kids had IELTS scores between 6.5 and 7. And usually that is pretty good. That means the English should have been more than good enough for them to be able to defend themselves in court at least. And this, what crime that they cause, can also bring up several other problems now. As a user tweeted that the Jugaad culture is becoming more widespread. And another person added, faking IELTS will definitely land them in New Jersey, but once detected, it impacts all Indian students' attempts to establishing profession. And I feel as though this story, there's still a lot more to uncover here, but it definitely does seem fishy.
They've actually even started a probe in India about like these centers that are faking or helping to fake IELTS scores, and seems to be part of a much larger conspiracy. And I think, like you said, especially the last part that you said, because Indians just have this like reputation of, there are always every year during like IIT exams or like the NEET exams, and there's some story about somebody hanging out of a window giving answers to someone, or some crazy way somebody cheated because test scores are, we place test scores with such value. I think it, like you said, it just sets a bad precedent for like what an Indian is capable of in a larger, more international context. And that's the really sad part of this story.
I completely agree. I think it's the more about a statement on the authority of these tests and how it's deteriorating with every instance like this that happens. And yeah, that's all there is to it, really. But with that, we will take a short break and we'll be right back after these promos.
Welcome back to News Kids on the Block. I'm your co-host Anya, and our next story for you today is regarding Independence Day. So as you may be aware, on the 15th of August, India celebrates Independence Day. And this will be our 75th Independence Day. So as you can imagine, that's really quite something, that's 75 years of India being free of colonial rule, and technically India being free of any rule and kind of culminating into its own country. And it's been a really, really long time. So of course, you can imagine that the government, including the Culture and Tourism Department and everybody really, even schools, colleges, have taken this opportunity to really show their patriotism to the country and celebrate what makes India the place that it is. And one of the things that they did was they announced the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And the Union Minister for Culture and Tourism, G. Kishan Reddy, sent out a statement that said that at any centrally protected monument or any archaeological site museum from August 5th to August 15th, they will not be charged as part of commemorating the 75 years of independence. And I thought that was so cool because it's so simple. Like you go to a monument. It's all of these monuments are such an incredible part of our culture and such an incredible part of the diversity that we find in our country. And just making tickets free allows so many more people to visit them. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced an initiative called Har Ghar Tiranga, where he just wanted to celebrate the beauty of the flag. So he urged users to change their DPs to the flag. He urged people to take a photo, like selfies with the flags and share them. And you can actually visit the Amrit Mahotsav website to learn more about it. It's a great way that you can familiarize yourself with the culture of India and everything that's a part of it as we celebrate our 75th Independence Day.
It's great that we're celebrating independence in India, but in the US, things aren't looking too good at the moment as a flood in Kentucky has killed at least 35 as more storms forecast. As floods unleashed by torrential rains in eastern Kentucky killed 35 people, including 4 children, Governor Andy Beshear said on Monday while warning that more dangerous weather is approaching the region. And Beshear on Monday confirmed 30 deaths, then 5 more in an afternoon briefing when he said there would be yet more to come. And authorities continued to work to rescue residents and provide food and shelter for thousands who had been displaced. Efforts have been hampered by the weather conditions, although officials have said. And I think the floods are looking increasingly dangerous for the citizens of Kentucky. For the storms are really picking up. They're not showing some signs of slowing down, but not enough. Fingers crossed there are no more casualties and Kentucky can get back to the wonderful state that it is.
Thanks, Trivik. Let's go into a short break and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to News Kids on the Block. I'm your co-host Trivik Hariharan and passing it back to Anya for our next story of the day.
Thanks, Trivik. Our next story of the day again is actually that's like all three of our stories being about pride for India as we celebrate different things happening. But as you might be aware, the Commonwealth Games are currently going on in Birmingham, England, and tournament is hard to call it given its magnitude. But we're currently on the sixth day as of August 4th, 2022. And India has collected 18 medals, including 5 gold, 6 silver, and 7 bronze. And that's really quite something. Our most successful sport was weightlifting, where in total we won 10 medals. And some key names to remember would be Mirabai Chanu, who won the gold. She also won the silver at the Olympics last year. Vidya Rani Devi, who won a silver, and Jeremy Lal Renunga, who won a gold medal as well. We've also won a medal in this unique sport called lawn bowls, which I hadn't heard about honestly till we won a medal. But that's quite incredible. We also won a medal in TT, 3 medals in judo, a medal in badminton, a medal in squash, and a medal in athletics. In total, out of the 18 medals that we've collected, 11 of them have been from male athletes and 6 from female athletes, whereas one was a mixed team medal. So you can say that India is really striving. Another event of interest was the Indian women's cricket team most recently defeated Barbados by 100 runs, which was really quite an incredible feat. So we can only continue to wish all of our athletes more luck because they bring our nation so much pride and joy. And if you haven't been following the Commonwealth Games, you still have 3 days left. So I suggest you get right to it.
Thank you, Anya. That takes us to our last story for today as Arsenal have just dropped their all or nothing documentary for the 21-22 season, ladies and gentlemen. And I, for one, am hyped. Last season, and Amazon Prime crew followed Arsenal throughout their season in training, on their tours, away games, home games. And this series has been done 2 times before. Once with Manchester City, that was the first ever series, and I absolutely loved it. Insight into Pep Guardiola's coaching methods as he took City to an outstanding 100 points. Last year, the crew followed Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur team, which saw a lot of ups and downs. It was definitely an entertaining one, and I believe this one will be no different, with Arsenal narrowly missing out on a Champions League spot last season. Lots of drama with the ex-club captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and beef with the manager, incomings, outgoings, and just a lot of emotion. The tactical genius of Mikel Arteta is something I will definitely be looking forward to seeing. I personally believe he has all the jewels he needs to succeed at Arsenal, and this season could be a big one for him and the Gunners. But more importantly, I'm definitely looking forward to this documentary. You guys should be too. Probably one of the best sports related content coming out all year. And that's what I'm going to do right after this recording. You guys should too. However, that is all we have for you today. This has been News Kids on the Block, and we will see you next time.
If you like this episode, do be sure to check out our other episodes, and you can check out more shows on the IVM network. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to do your homework.